Welcome viewers. We are back with our another Ask Me Anything session. This is Advocate Aashi Pawar, Deputy Vice President Legal Services at NRI Legal Services.
And I am Advocate Tasman Singh, Senior Legal Associate at NRI Legal Services.
Yes.
Today's topic
Wait, Tasman. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for giving us great reviews on our Ask Me Anything sessions. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, please start.
Today's topic is how to get your property vacated from illegal trespassers and tenants.
Yes. So non-resident Indians have been increasingly facing challenges while managing their properties in India, especially when dealing with those people who refuse to vacate their properties. So this AMA session aims to provide you all a comprehensive understanding on the legal procedures that you have to understand and follow to safeguard your interest and to reclaim the possession of your properties in India. So if you have any queries related to this topic, you can post your queries in our comment section, and definitely we'll try to answer each and every query. If any query is left, we will come back to you after this AMA session is over. We'll definitely answer that query. So I think, right?
Yes.
So let's start. So okay. NRIs looking to vacate properties from tenants and illegal trespassers. It is very crucial to understand the legal framework that governs landlord-tenant relationship and property ownership rights. Right? So when you are getting the property vacated, it is a very time-consuming process, complicated process, and can be legally daunting for NRIs. So if you have a proper understanding on the legal framework, and also if you have an effective legal representative, only then you can reclaim the possession of your properties in India and also safeguard your financial and legal interest in that property. I think, right? Right? Yeah.
Yes. So I would like to add that when you're renting out your property, the first and foremost thing is that you execute a rent agreement.
Yes.
A rent agreement basically has the description of the tenanted premises, the tenure of the tenancy, the monthly rent, and the mode of payment.
Right. Every content should be there. Yes. Okay, so first of all, we'll start with the situation when you are getting the property vacated from the tenants, right? So I'll tell you what are the steps you have to follow.
Yes.
So the first step is issuing a legal notice to this tenant, right? When you are issuing the notice, that notice should contain on what ground you are seeking this eviction from this tenant, and in what time frame you want this possession back from this tenant. So if this tenant is not complying with this legal notice, next step what you can take is you should go and approach the court of rent controller and file an eviction suit against this tenant. There are various grounds on the basis of which you can seek eviction from the tenants. First is areas of rent. Let's talk about areas of rent. So this tenant is not paying you rent on regular basis and not paying you rent at all. So in that scenario, you can go and seek eviction on the ground of non-payment of rent. Second is personal necessity. So if you want the property for your own personal use and occupation, you can seek eviction of the tenant. Then you can seek eviction on the ground that the tenant is doing illegal activities in that property or doing illegal construction in that property. In that case also you can seek the eviction. If you think that the property is in a very bad condition and it needs reconstruction or demolition and new construction overall, so in that case also you can seek eviction of the tenant. Now that when you have filed the eviction petition in the court, you need paperwork, supporting paperwork. And what supporting paperwork means? Rent agreement, rent receipts, right. Any correspondence between the tenant and the landlord, or any other document that you feel is connected with your tenancy with this person, right? So that any document that establishes the fact that you are a landlord and he is a tenant. So any document. So after reviewing all the paperwork, if the court decides that yes, you are entitled to get the possession of the property and gives you a favorable order, the court will give direction to the tenant to vacate the property within a stipulated time, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. But if the tenant again fails to give you the possession of the property within that stipulated time, in that case what you can do is you can file an execution petition in the court of rent controller, and then the court will intervene in getting the possession back from the tenant. The court can ask the police also to help you and to get the possession back. So these are the steps that you have to follow in case you are seeking eviction from the tenants, eviction of tenants. So now we'll talk about if we are seeking the eviction of the illegal trespassers. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll explain this. So because of the physical absence of NRIs, their properties are subjected to encroachment by illegal trespassers and occupants. Now, evicting these illegal occupants is a whole new task. In some cases, some people, they claim adverse possession. What is adverse possession? It is if they can prove that their possession has been uninterrupted and undisputed for several years, then their possession can be valid. So it's very important to be vigilant about your property and the status of your property, and it is advisable that you appoint either a caretaker or any third person and give them the authority to look after your property on your behalf when you are not present in India.
Absolutely, Tasmin. And when you are in such situation, there are legal remedies. First of all is you approach the police, file a criminal complaint against this illegal trespasser, right? So the police will do all the investigation and will find out in what capacity they are residing in that property. But if you feel that it is not a fruitful exercise, the police is not helping you, or police is not able to get the possession back for you, in that case you can go to the court and file a suit for possession, right?
Yes.
So the suit for possession is you are telling the court that you are the owner of the property, but these people are living in the property without your permission or authorization. So for that case, you need to prove your ownership also in the court. You need to have some title document of that property, and only then the court will acknowledge this fact that you are the owner and they are the persons who are illegally residing in that property. So this is how you can claim back the possession from the illegal trespassers.
Yes.
So let's conclude this.
Yes, to conclude, NRIs can only exercise their property rights and manage their properties effectively by being very proactive and making very educated and informed decisions.
Yes.
They can regain control of their assets. They can build a very strong basis for their management of their properties and their ownership by being extremely vigilant and very informed, and they have to be proactive. And with the right guidance and assistance, their properties can be managed.
Let's start picking the questions, Tasmin.
Yes.
There are, I think, I can see 2-3 questions. First is from Sunil Kumar.
Dear madam, my dad's property is with a person and he has been living in it since 1998. We wanted him to be out from the property, but my dad never took any necessary steps. We had... One second, let's just... we had been maintaining this property as my dad was very much attached to it. My dad passed away in 2020 in COVID period. I want to get my dad's property back from this person. When I asked him to give me the property, I received a call from a lawyer that they would be filing a case on me for adverse possession. I searched about the concept of adverse possession on Google, and according to the same, he can claim his ownership on the property. I have to take immediate action on this matter. So I'll take this.
Okay.
So adverse possession is basically 3 things. 1, that the possession is absolute and hostile. Number 2, that the possession was undisputed and uninterrupted, which is basically that the true owner of the property never disputed the possession. And number 3 is that it was recognized by the public. Now in your case, you are saying that you have all the proofs that you have been maintaining the property, and you have been the upkeep and maintenance has been through the funds you have been transferring to the person. So this is not the case for adverse possession, and you have this case in your favor because you have been involved in the daily affairs of the property.
You can show to the court that you had some intervention.
Yes. And if a lawyer is contacting you, I would suggest that you talk to him and you try to come on an amicable decision. But if not, I would suggest that you file a suit for possession before they file a suit for adverse possession.
Yes, that's wise advice. Yes, thank you so much, Tasmin. I'm taking the next question. It's from Shalini Ahir. If the tenants have given it in writing that they will vacate the property in 2 months, but even after 2 months they are not vacating the property, can the possession be taken by the landlord? Thank you for your question, Shalini. Let me answer this question. Even if you have this in writing that the tenants will vacate the property in 2 months, you cannot just go and get the possession. it is not, this is not the case. You cannot do that.
Right.
So what you have to do is issue a legal notice to this tenant and specifically mention this thing that you had promised that you will vacate the property within 2 months, but you have failed to do that. So you are directed to give the possession back within 15 days or a month or so. So if the tenant again fails to comply with this thing, only then you go and file an eviction petition against this tenant. So you just can't take the possession like that. You definitely have to seek the shelter of the court. I think that answers your query.
Right. So the next question is, do we need to give legal notice to illegal trespassers? So normally, in normal situations, illegal trespassers are not known people. They are unknown people. So in some cases yes, in some cases no. It really depends from case to case. When the person is an unknown to you and is a trespasser, sending a legal notice to them is a waste of time. So I would suggest that you file a criminal complaint against them, and if the police is not able to evict them from the property, then you approach the court and you rightfully legally file a suit for possession or eviction and legally remove them from your property.
Yeah, an illegal trespasser will never respond to your
legal notice. Yes.
Do we have any other questions?
Yes, we have this.
This question is from Aarti Sharma.
I'll just read it out. Please address my problem. I took a property on rent 6 months ago and the landlord signed a rent agreement. After a month, one Mohan Verma visited me and told me that he was the brother-in-law of my landlord and he was authorized to receive the rent on landlord's behalf. He showed me the authority letter also. He called the landlord in front of me and the landlord also confirmed the same. I gave 6 months rent to Mohan Verma. Now I have received the legal notice for vacating the property due to non-payment of rent. All I can understand is that they are frauds and ran away with my money. I'm shocked and have no idea what to do.
Whose question is this? Aarti Sharma. You are absolutely right. You have been defrauded. It's a serious situation, Aarti. Okay, so first of all, immediately file a criminal complaint against this Mohan Verma. So please tell the police that he had defrauded you, he approached you and showed you some documentation and took the money. So whatever documentation he showed you, you must be having the copies of the same. Please attach those documents with that police complaint, and it will obviously help you. It will make your case much more stronger. Yes. I cannot comment whether the landlord is involved in this whole scenario, in this whole episode or not, because it's very strange to understand why he never called you for such a long time, and now he appears and he says that he is out of nowhere, and he says that he had never received any rent from you. It is actually very strange. Yes. So immediately file the police complaint, and as far as this landlord is concerned, if he is not involved and if he is innocent, I think you should approach the landlord or his lawyer first and ask him for some amicable settlement. If this landlord is innocent, he will obviously settle this matter, because he will be knowing that you are also innocent. You never knew that this person is a fraud. So otherwise if he files a case against you, this landlord, you have a strong merit to defend the case, right?
So the next question is from Rajat Pathak. क्या लैंडलॉर्ड को अपनी ओनरशिप प्रूफ करनी जरूरी है कोर्ट में?
I'll take this. Thank you for your question, Rajat. नहीं, जो लैंडलॉर्ड है उसे कभी अपनी ओनरशिप प्रूव नहीं करनी होती है कोर्ट में, बिकॉज यहाँ पे डेक्लेरेटरी ये सूट नहीं है. यहाँ पे आपका जो टाइटल है प्रॉपर्टी पे वो डिस्प्यूट में नहीं है. आपको सिर्फ एक लैंडलॉर्ड और टेनेंट रिलेशनशिप को एस्टैब्लिश करना है कोर्ट के सामने. टेनेंट के पास कोई राइट नहीं होता है लैंडलॉर्ड के टाइटल को डिस्प्यूट करने का. अगर टेनेंट अगर ये करेगा तो केस का जो फाउंडेशन है वही खराब हो जाएगा. सो लैंडलॉर्ड को कोई ये लॉ की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है. लैंडलॉर्ड अपना सिर्फ एक रेंट अग्रीमेंट दिखा के बता सकता है दैट आई वॉज द वन हु गेव दिस प्रॉपर्टी टू दिस टेनेंट, और टेनेंट मुझे रेंट पे कर रहा था. सो देयर इज अ लैंडलॉर्ड टेनेंट रिलेशनशिप.
राइट. Okay, so next question is from Ashwani Kumar. Can we convert a caretaker agreement into a rent agreement? I'll take this. Okay. So yes, you can. In the new rent agreement, you will have to mention that this person was previously occupying the property as a caretaker, and now he will be occupying the same property as a tenant. So yes, it can be converted into a rent agreement.
Another question is here. I'll read it.
Okay.
My father's property is under Lal Lakir. He has given this house to me in his will. There is no document of ownership of this house. The house is near Fagwada and we have installed CCTV cameras to keep a check. But how do I get it transferred to my name? Thank you for your question, Priyanka. So that's a good thing that you have the possession of the property. You have installed CCTV cameras on that property. It clearly means that you have the possession. So Lal Lakir properties are those properties where no government records, right? So what you can do is, on the basis of this will of your father, you can approach the water and electricity department and get the meters installed or transferred in your name. So the utility bills work as an evidence that you have the ownership. So whenever the Lal Lakir property is concerned, the ownership can be proved on the basis of continued possession and utility bills, right? So you have the possession, you have mentioned that you have installed CCTV cameras, so you have the possession and you can get the utility bills transferred in your name and you are good to go. That's all you can do in case of Lal Lakir properties.
Okay, yeah. We have another question from He Bajwa. Hello ma'am, I have a rent agreement with a couple who is living in the ground floor of my property. I have locked the first floor of the house as my place as my place to stay whenever I visit India. This time when I came, I was shocked that a family is residing on the first floor of the house. I filed a complaint against these people and they told the police that the couple residing on the ground floor gave them the property to reside. I want to file an eviction case against the couple for misusing my property. This is one of the main grounds for evicting a tenant as they have illegally subletted the property. And this will work in your favor because they've already, the couple the people who are residing on the first floor, they've already given the statement to the police that they were inducted by your tenants. So this becomes a major ground for eviction and it is considered as misusing your property without your consent. So yes, you can approach the correct court and court that has jurisdiction in this matter and file for eviction in this case.
Next question is from Tejas Oberoi. My father agreed to sell his shop situated in Delhi to our tenants. The agreement to sell was executed and token money was received, which was 20% of the total sale value. The sale deed was to be registered this month and we are chasing these tenants now, but they are avoiding our calls. We have to travel to India for this purpose. If they back out from buying the property, back out from buying the property, should we do? Okay. Thank you for your question, Tejas. Okay, so if you want this agreement to sell to be executed, if you want to get the sale deed registered, once the last date of registering the sale deed is expired, then you can go to the court and file a case which is suit for specific performance, right? So you can tell the court that agreement to sell was signed between these two parties and now they are not responding to us and they are not willing to execute the sale deed, and you are here before the court to get the agreement to sell executed. So I think so these tenants must not be having funds as of now, or maybe thinking of some other setup. That is why they are not responding you. So yes, you have this right to seek the execution of the agreement to sell, and for this purpose you don't need to come to India specially and file the case. You can appoint a POA holder or any other person to look after your legal affairs of this property. That person can go to the court and fight the case on your behalf. You don't need to come to India for this purpose. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, our next question is from Angel Chavi. Is there any non-legal method or ways to evict a tenant from the property if the owner does not want to indulge in prolonged litigation? No, there is not, and we would not suggest that you take any non-legal methods. You should approach the court and you should do this legally. It's very important to take back the possession of your property legally. And even if you opt for any non-legal methods, that can be like changing the locks or throwing their stuff out or cutting their electricity or water, this can get you in deep trouble because this will give them a handle to file a complaint against you for harassing them. So it is suggested that do not take any non-legal options. Please go.
Otherwise, you will only land up in
trouble. Yes, please approach the court and do this legally.
Yes. Any other question, Dasman?
Just a second. Not as of now.
Let me check.
Just.
Okay, so I think we do not have any other questions. So one thing I want to add here is that never trust these illegal trespassers. Okay, never ever. So we had one case. So this client came to us and we did the title search of the property of this client. We found out that yes, our client is the owner of that property, but when we did the physical inspection of that property, we came to know that 3 people were residing in this property. We filed a criminal complaint against those people, and the police, after investigation, told us that these people are having some documentation to show. They are saying that this property was gifted to them by our client's father only. Right, so we had to approach the court. We filed the case. We got this forged documentation cancelled. The court declared that it holds no value in the eyes of law. The signatures also were not matching. So why I'm telling you all this is that these illegal trespassers, these are very well trained people. They know what kind of property they are encroaching to and what documentation they have to prepare in order to secure their possession on that property. So that's why never ever take these illegal trespassers lightly, and whenever you come to know that property is under some unauthorized possession, just take immediate step, file the police complaint and try to get the possession as soon as possible. Any other question, Tasmin?
Yes, there is one from Iknoor Sandhu. How long does the eviction process take to be concluded?
Thank you for your question, Ms. Sandhu. So there is no timeline as such. It depends upon case to case. It depends upon on what ground you are seeking the eviction of the tenant. It depends upon what stance is being taken by the tenant. So because in eviction suit, it has a procedure. It has stages. You file the case, then summoning is there, then evidence stage is there. You prove your case, the tenants will prove their case, and only then the suit will be decided. So it is little time taking, but obviously it is a permanent solution. So there is no perfect timeline.
There's another question from Monica Kapoor. Can you help me understand what rights a tenant has to continue the possession in the property? We have tenants living in our house, and a month back an argument happened between the tenants and us. Due to those heated arguments, the behavior of the tenants changed, and they did not even pay us the rent of the recent month. We received a notice from the court that the tenants have filed for permanent injunction. They are trying to disturb us by doing such acts. What is the best way to deal with the situation? So I'll take this. When a suit for permanent injunction is filed, it is filed so that the tenant cannot be evicted without the due procedure of law. That is why they have filed this case, because they got into a heated argument with you, and they are scared that you might evict them. This does not mean from anywhere that you cannot evict them ever from the property. If you think that their conduct is not fine, you can file for eviction and they will be evicted for misconduct or whatever the reasons would be. But this suit was filed only because they do not want to be evicted, because they are not behaving properly with you and having heated arguments. Also, that being said, you will need representation for this suit of permanent injunction. You will have to be represented in the court.
Right. Tasmin, we have one more question. It's from Kanchan. Hi, we have a property in Vadodara. Our relatives informed us that someone has illegally encroached upon our property. We tried to contact them, and they are goons type people. They broke the locks of our property and put new locks on it. We filed an online complaint against these people, but the police is not very active in this case. We are afraid that they might damage our property as well. I sent a person on our property to talk to these people, and they said that if we pay them 5 lakhs, they will vacate the property. What should we do now? And if they vacate, what is the best way to secure our possession further?
I'll take this.
Okay.
Please do not pay them any money. We would not suggest that you pay them
Not at
any money, because they are, as you said, goons. There is no guarantee whatsoever that they would still, even after getting the money, would vacate the property, right?
Obviously.
Yes. So,
They have
so
no
I would
decision.
suggest that if they do not be involved in any monetary transaction with them, please approach the court and file for eviction, and do this with the due procedure of law. Legally take back the possession of your property.
Absolutely, Tasman. We have one more question from Puneet Jindal. What are the basic guidelines for landlords who wish to rent out their property? I'll tell you the guidelines. Okay, so first of all, check the credentials of the tenant, check the history of this tenant, and then execute a rent agreement. Like Tasman told you, what content should be there, what are the basic essentials of the rent agreement, mode of payment should be there, the description of the property, how much rent is to be paid by the tenant, everything should be there. Then maintain proper communication with the tenant, so that you are very well aware what the tenant is doing in this property.
Yes.
Pay regular visits to that property, so that you know the status of the property all the time. So these are the basic guidelines, I guess. Please maintain the records related to this tenancy, like keeping the rent receipts. This was the very much important here.
Yeah.
So anything else?
I think
we have?
we don't have any more questions.
Okay, so if any query is left, we'll come back to you definitely. So thank you so much, viewers, for watching this session. We'll be back with another Ask Me Anything session very, very soon. And I hope this was informative for you all.
Yes.
And please don't forget to follow our page on Facebook. And if you have any other query, you can write us at query@nrilegalservices.com. So thank
Thank you so much.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.